Stop for a moment and listen. I want you to know something today. You are not behind, you are not late, and you have not missed your chance. The world has taught you to measure yourself by clocks and calendars, by deadlines and comparisons. But I tell you, heaven's clock runs on a rhythm far higher than man's schedule. In divine order, there is no delay. What belongs to you by right of spirit arrives in your life at the precise moment it can bless you most, not 1 second before and not 1 second after. I speak this truth to break the spirit of frustration, of anxiety, and of despair that whispers to you, "It's too late." No, dear one, it is never too late in God's plan. Every blessing is an appointment already written, and appointments in heaven's book cannot be missed. Think of a train station. You may pace the platform with nervous steps, watching the clock, growing impatient because the train has not yet arrived. Others may rush past you on different trains, and you wonder why yours is not here. But in truth, that train has its own time, its own track, and it will not arrive early, nor will it be late. When it comes exactly when it is meant to. So it is with the blessings of your life. Divine order is the timetable of God's universe, and the train of your good is never delayed. It only appears delayed when you do not understand the perfect precision of spiritual law. So many of you live with regret, saying, "If only I had done this sooner, if only I had known earlier, if only I had not missed that chance." Let me say this with power and certainty. You did not miss it. You were simply being prepared. Every step, even the ones that looked like detours, were laying down the tracks for the train of your blessing. You think it was wasted time, but in heaven there is no waste, no accident, no delay. The invisible work was happening behind the scenes. Just as the farmer does not accuse the seed of being late while it germinates in the soil, neither should you accuse yourself or life of being behind. The seed is on time, and so are you. I once had a student who longed for a position, but every door seemed closed. Weeks turned into months, and she grew discouraged, believing she had been forgotten. But I told her, in divine order, nothing is ever late. The right door will open at the right time. And so it was when her position came. It was not only better than the one she had desired, but it came with benefits she had not even imagined. She realized then that if the first door had opened earlier, she would have accepted less than God intended. Timing is not a punishment, it is a protection. Delay is not denial, it is divine preparation. You must guard your words. Never say, "I am too late, I am behind, my chance has passed." For by those words, you sign a false contract in the unseen, telling the universe to lock doors that were meant for you. Instead, affirm, "I am in perfect timing. My good comes quickly and easily, but never too soon and never too late. What is mine cannot be delayed." When you speak this way, you align yourself with the divine rhythm. And when your words agree with heaven's order, the whole universe conspires to bring your blessing into view. Let me give you another picture. Imagine a symphony orchestra. The violins have their part, the drums have their part, the flutes have their part. Each instrument enters not all at once, but at the appointed measure. If the trumpet were to play before its time, the music would be chaos. But when each waits for its moment, the sound is glorious. So too, your life is a symphony. There are measures where one thing must play before another can enter. To cry out, "I am late," is to misunderstand the music. You are not late. You are an instrument waiting for your perfect measure. Trust the conductor. The divine knows the score. When you walk in this understanding, peace replaces panic. You stop envying others. You stop fearing loss. You stop rushing blindly. You learn to rest in the assurance that everything in your life is unfolding with precision. Your relationships, your money, your opportunities, they have not passed you by. They are simply waiting for the measure where they will harmonize perfectly with all else. To doubt this is to accuse God of disorder, and there is no disorder in divine mind. Some of you are listening now, and you are weary. You say, "I've prayed for years, but nothing has changed." I tell you, it has changed, but in the unseen. The receipt has already been signed in heaven, the package already dispatched. Just because the delivery van is not in sight does not mean it is not on the way. Many blessings arrive at the last hour, so you may learn trust and faith instead of fear and control. Your role is not to time the delivery, but to keep the space ready. Would you leave your door locked if you knew a guest was on their way? No, you would unlock it, set the table, prepare with joy. Do the same with your blessings. Act as if they are already en route. Prepare your life for them. In doing so, you magnetize the arrival. There is a reason Scripture says, "At the appointed time, it will come to pass." Appointment means it was scheduled before you were even aware of it. You cannot rush it, and you cannot miss it. What is yours will not pass you by. The only way to appear late is to believe in lateness and thereby close your own door. Stop rehearsing your age, your delays, your regrets. In spirit, you are ageless, timeless, always on schedule. Speak this truth until your heart believes it. I cannot miss what is mine. It arrives in perfect timing under grace. Beloved, I want to tell you something bold. Even your so-called mistakes are not late. Even the seasons you call wasted were woven into the design. The divine has a way of redeeming time, of folding your detours back into the path, like an artist turning an accidental brushstroke into part of the masterpiece. God wastes nothing. You think you are late because you compare yourself with others. But do not measure yourself against another's path. They are playing a different part in the symphony. Their train is not yours, their appointment not yours. Your timing is perfect for your blessing, and theirs is perfect for theirs. The law of perfect timing is freedom. Freedom from the tyranny of clocks, freedom from the prison of regret, freedom from the whip of comparison. It allows you to walk in peace, knowing that you cannot be left behind. The only true lateness is unbelief. But the moment you shift your belief, the moment you align your words with truth, the divine conductor lifts his hand, and the music moves forward once again. So hear me well, you are not late, you are right on time. Heaven's book has not crossed your name out. The page with your blessing is already written. It will unfold at the perfect moment. Trust, speak rightly, prepare with joy, and rest in peace. For nothing is ever late in divine order. Beloved, let me draw you closer to a truth many forget. The reason you feel late is not because heaven has failed, but because your human eyes mistake silence for absence. Your human mind looks at clocks, sees the progress of others, and concludes, I must be behind. But the spiritual world does not run on clocks. The divine does not measure your blessing by how many birthdays you have passed, or how many seasons you have waited. The only reason you believe you are delayed is because you measure with a human yardstick instead of a divine one. Think of the caterpillar. When it crawls, it may look at the birds flying and say, I am late. I was meant to fly. But the truth is, the caterpillar is not late. It is simply in another stage of its perfect order. It must rest in the cocoon before it can break forth with wings. If it judges itself too soon, it will despise its crawling, despise its waiting, and miss the beauty of its transformation. So too, many of you despise your cocoon seasons. You think you are delayed because you have not yet spread your wings. But I tell you, you are not late, you are transforming. The human mind struggles with waiting. It is restless. It fears it will be forgotten. This fear is the true delay, not the absence of the blessing, but the presence of doubt. The blessing is moving toward you, but doubt clouds your eyes so that you cannot see its approach. Impatience makes you abandon your station just as the train is about to arrive. Many blessings have knocked at doors only to find the owner left in despair, certain they had been abandoned. But if you would stay, if you would keep the lamp of faith burning, the blessing would walk right in. I once knew a woman who prayed for a home. She grew weary because months passed and nothing appeared. She began to say, "It is too late for me. Perhaps God has forgotten." I told her, "Do not speak this way. Every word is a seed. If you sow despair, you reap delay." She repented of her words and began to affirm daily, "My perfect home is already prepared. I receive it under grace in perfect timing." Not long after, a door opened so easily it astonished her. The home was not only perfect, but it came at a price she could afford. She wept with gratitude, realizing it had never been late. It had been waiting for her to align her words with faith. Words, dear ones, are keys to timing. Fear says, "I am behind." Faith says, "I am right on time." Fear rushes and grasps. Faith rests and receives. The reason many feel late is because they use their tongue to curse their own season. They repeat to themselves, "I should be further by now. Others are ahead. I am too old. I wasted time." And the universe, which always obeys the spoken word, echoes back, "Yes, you are late." Not because it is true, but because you have written it into law with your tongue. If you want to feel the flow of divine timing, you must guard your speech. Speak not of lateness, but of order, not of missed chances, but of divine appointments. Another reason humans feel delayed is comparison. You see another person married when you are still single. You see another wealthy while you are still praying for provision. You see another achieving what you long for, and you say, "I am behind." But do you not see? Their season is not yours. Their train is not your train. If you judge yourself by their timetable, you will always feel late. But if you judge yourself by divine order, you will realize that your life is unfolding exactly as it must for your unique purpose. Flowers do not all bloom in the same month. The rose does not accuse itself for not blooming with the daisy. Each has its own season, and when its time comes, the earth is adorned with beauty. So too, your season will bloom, and all will marvel at its fragrance. There is also pride hidden in the feeling of delay. Pride whispers, "I know the best time. If it has not happened by now, it is wrong." But who are you to instruct the divine clock? You see only one page, but God holds the entire book. You know only today, but Spirit has prepared your tomorrow. To insist that you are late is to accuse heaven of negligence. It is to suggest that divine mind is careless with its children. But the truth is, the universe is precise, exact, mathematical in its timing. Stars do not fall out of place. Planets do not collide in chaos. Everything moves with perfect precision, and so does your life. To trust this is humility. To doubt this is pride. I want you to imagine something. Suppose you order a beautiful piece of furniture for your home. The craftsman tells you it will take 6 months to build, for it must be carved, polished, perfected. Now, imagine you call him after 1 month, furious, saying, "Where is my table? You are late." Would that not be foolish? The craftsman would tell you, "It is not late. It is being perfected."
If I delivered it today, it would be half finished. So it is with your blessings.
They are being crafted in the unseen, polished and prepared. If they arrived too soon, they would be incomplete. Trust the divine craftsman. Your blessing is not late. It is being perfected. Some of you are afraid because you think of age. You say, I am too old. It is too late for me. But spirit has no age. Spirit is timeless, eternal, ever fresh. The moment you align with divine order, time is redeemed. Years you thought wasted become years of wisdom that prepare you for your blessing. Did not Sarah bear a child in her old age? Did not Moses begin his mission at 80? Age is no barrier to divine timing. The only barrier is unbelief. Cast away the lie that you are too late. You are ageless in spirit, and what is yours will come no matter the number of candles on your cake. Now, let me warn you gently. When you push against timing, you invite counterfeit blessings. Impatience makes you grasp at what is not ready, at what is not yours, and later you weep because it cannot last. Many marriages, many businesses, many ventures collapse because they were born of impatience instead of timing. The fruit was plucked too soon, and it rotted before it could nourish. Learn to wait. What is yours will not run away. What is not yours you do not want. Better to wait for the perfect door than to rush into the wrong one. Let me give you a practice. Each time you feel anxious, say aloud, there is no lateness in divine order. My good is on time. Repeat it until your heart believes it. Write it where your eyes can see it. Whisper it when fear comes in the night. Speak it when envy whispers that others are ahead. These words are not empty. They are laws. And when you affirm them, you shift from fear to faith, from panic to peace. Beloved, you have not missed your season. You have not fallen behind. The divine calendar still has your name written on it. Stop cursing your path with despair. Stop comparing your chapter to another's. Stop demanding fruit before it's ripening. Trust, wait, prepare, and affirm. In doing so, you will see that you were never late. You were always right on time. Beloved one, now that you have seen why men and women feel late, let us move deeper into the practice of alignment. It is not enough to understand timing. You must also tune yourself to it, as a violinist tunes her instrument to the perfect pitch. If she plays out of tune, even the sweetest melody sounds sour. So it is with you. If your heart is not aligned with divine order, you may speak affirmations, you may pray, but the sound will be dissonant. Alignment is harmony, and harmony draws blessings like a magnet. How do we align? The first step is stillness. The human mind races ahead. It clutches at tomorrow. It despairs at yesterday. But the spirit speaks only in the present moment. When you learn to be still, you place yourself on heaven's wavelength. A restless heart is like muddy water. You cannot see through it. But when you are still, the mud settles, and the clear water reflects the divine face. Each day, give yourself moments of stillness. Sit quietly, breathe, and repeat. I am on time in divine order. Do not rush these words. Let them sink into your bones. Let them carry you beyond the clock and into eternity. Next comes speech. I have said it many times. Your word is your wand. To align with perfect timing, you must speak only what you wish to see. Do not say, I am late. I am behind. I have missed my chance. These are spells, and the universe takes them as orders. Instead, say, what is mine cannot be delayed. My good arrives swiftly and surely, under grace and in perfect ways. If you will keep this decree on your lips, you will see how quickly your life shifts. For the tongue is not a small thing. It is the rudder that steers your ship.
Speak delay, and you drift into storms. Speak divine order, and you sail into calm harbors. The third practice is trust in divine interruptions. Often what you call a delay is not a delay, but a redirection. You plan to go one way, and a door closes. You weep, you panic, you say, "I am late now." But what if that closed door saved you from harm? What if it opened the way to something better? Once a man told me he missed a train and cursed his misfortune. Later, he discovered that train derailed. What looked like delay was deliverance. Another woman was bitter because a job did not hire her. Months later, the company collapsed. What she thought was rejection was in truth protection. To align with timing, you must trust interruptions. Say not, "I am late," but "I am redirected. Spirit is leading me to my perfect path." Beloved, let us talk also of gratitude. Gratitude is oil on the gears of divine timing. When you thank God for what you have, you attract more. When you despise your portion, you repel your harvest. Gratitude is agreement with heaven. It says, "I trust the process. I honor my today, even as I wait for my tomorrow." Begin and end your day with thanks. Thank the air you breathe, the bed on which you sleep, the friend who calls your name. Thank even the waiting, for in the waiting your character is forged. Gratitude makes the waiting sweet, and when the blessing comes, gratitude keeps it pure. Another practice is imagination. The unseen always precedes the seen. Aligning with timing requires that you see yourself already in possession of the thing you desire. When you imagine, you claim your good in the invisible, and once claimed, the universe must deliver it in the visible. Suppose you are waiting for healing. Each night before sleep, picture yourself walking in strength, breathing with ease, moving with freedom. Suppose you are waiting for prosperity. See yourself giving generously. See yourself free from debt. See yourself at peace. This imagination is the receipt in advance. When you picture it, you prove to the universe that you know it is already yours. And the universe, being lawful, must honor your vision. Now let us speak of surrender. Some of you want to dictate to heaven not only what you desire, but when it must arrive. You say, "I need it by Friday. I need it by next year." And when it does not come, you declare yourself abandoned. This is not alignment. This is control. The pot does not tell the potter when to finish shaping it. The child does not tell the mother when to birth. To align, you must surrender your deadlines. Say instead, "This or something better under grace in perfect timing." This is the secret phrase. It opens the way for miracles. It saves you from demanding too little or too soon. It allows the universe to exceed your request. Do not confuse surrender with passivity. Some believe that to wait on timing means to do nothing, but no, waiting is active. While the seed is underground, the farmer waters it, weeds the soil, and prepares the barn for harvest. So must you act in faith. If you pray for a new home, keep your belongings in order as if ready to move. If you pray for a business, study, prepare, sharpen your skill. If you pray for love, grow in kindness and wholeness. These actions are not to force the blessing, but to prove you believe it is on the way. Faith without preparation is empty. To align with timing, you must act as if the blessing is already yours. I recall a man who desired a car. He prayed faithfully, but he also cleaned his garage, leaving space as if the car already stood there. He polished his old shoes, saying, "These will drive my new car." His friends laughed, but not long after, a perfect car came into his life in a most unexpected way. His preparation was proof of his faith. Spirit honors preparation, for it shows you believe in the unseen arrival.
And beloved, let us not forget forgiveness. Unforgiveness is one of the greatest blocks to divine timing.
When you clutch bitterness, you chain yourself to the past, and while you are bound to yesterday, you cannot step into tomorrow. Many of you say, I am delayed, but the delay is not heaven. It is the chain of resentment around your own ankle. Forgive not to excuse, but to release. Say, I forgive everyone who has harmed me, knowingly or unknowingly. I set them free, and I am free.
When you do this, the heavy doors swing open, and blessings that seemed held back rush toward you. Forgiveness accelerates timing because it restores flow.
Beloved, to align with perfect timing is not to control the hour, but to control your heart.
It is to keep your speech in faith, your mind in vision, your actions in preparation, your spirit in gratitude, and your heart in forgiveness.
When you live this way, you no longer fear delay. You no longer chase after time, for you know that time is on your side. You wake with peace, you work with joy, you wait with calm, because you know heaven has already signed the decree. Your blessing is on time. So today I charge you, practice stillness, guard your tongue, trust interruptions, give thanks, imagine the unseen.
Surrender your deadlines, prepare in faith, forgive in love. These are not small things, they are great laws. If you live them, you will find that timing was never against you. Timing was always for you. You will walk into blessings not a day too soon, not a day too late, but in the exact moment you are ready. In the exact hour the world is ready, and in the exact second heaven has chosen.
Beloved one, stories are the lamps by which we see truth in motion. A law may sound abstract, but when you hear how it has unfolded in the lives of men and women, your faith grows. For the testimony of one soul becomes the prophecy for another. What Spirit has done for one, Spirit is eager to do for you. Let me share with you the living proofs of perfect timing, for divine order is never late. I once knew a woman who longed for marriage. She prayed, she affirmed, she spoke her word faithfully. I am divinely irresistible. The right man is magnetized to me by divine order. Yet the years passed, and she grew weary. Friends married, children were born, and still she walked alone. One day she came to me in tears, saying, Miss Shinn, I have been forgotten. Surely I am late. I said to her, You are not late. Your demonstration is only being prepared. Do not dig up your seed in doubt. She returned home, and instead of despair, she gave thanks. She began to live as though her blessing were already hers, setting 2 places at her table, planning for companionship. Months later, at a gathering she nearly did not attend, she was introduced to a man who had just returned from abroad. They spoke as if they had known each other for lifetimes. Within the year, they were married. Looking back, she saw why the delay was necessary. The man had been overseas completing the very assignment that prepared him to return at the exact moment she was ready. If he had come sooner, he would have been unready. If she had met him later, their paths would have missed. But Spirit timed the meeting perfectly. What looked like delay was only orchestration. Another story. A young man desired work in publishing. He had talent, but every door closed. He knocked and no one answered. He came to me saying, I am behind. Others are advancing, and I am standing still. I said, Do not declare yourself late. Speak this instead. The right position is already mine, by divine order at the right time and place. He did so, though at first with trembling faith. One afternoon, a friend invited him to a lecture. He hesitated, for he thought his time was better spent chasing job leads. But he went, and in that hall he met the editor of a major firm. A conversation began, an opportunity was offered, and within weeks he held the position of his dreams. That meeting was not chance, it was timing. Had he been hired earlier, he would have been placed in the wrong role. Had he not attended that lecture, he would have missed his moment. Spirit was not late, spirit was exact. Beloved, you may think your life is delayed, but in truth, you are being positioned. Each pause is a placement. Each waiting is a weaving. Divine order is the great chess master, moving every piece so that when your turn comes, the board is in your favor. There was a woman who longed for a child. Doctors told her it was too late. She prayed with me, and I told her the age of spirit is ageless. Divine order knows no clock. Say, I am fertile in spirit. The right soul is sent to me in perfect time. She obeyed, though her faith wavered at times. Years passed. One morning her sister called, saying a child needed a home. A door of adoption opened effortlessly, and she embraced the child as her own. Later she told me, I see now. This was always my child. We simply had to meet in the right season. Divine order was not late. It was precise. Another story. A businessman lost everything in a failed venture. He was bitter, crying out that God had abandoned him. But I reminded him, there is no loss in spirit. What is yours cannot be taken. Say, I see divine compensation. Nothing is ever lost to me in divine order. He obeyed, though through clenched teeth at first. In time, a new idea came to him, one that never would have been born had his old business succeeded. He built it step by step, and it prospered beyond his imagination. Looking back, he said, had I held on to the first, I would have missed the greater. Spirit was never punishing me, it was positioning me. What he thought was delay was in fact promotion. Beloved, divine order is like a tapestry. From underneath, you see knots and tangles. From above, you see the pattern. You live underneath now, but trust that the pattern is real. Each delay, each detour is a thread being placed in perfection. I tell you also the story of a man who desired to travel. Every attempt failed, money fell short, doors closed. At last, when he surrendered and said, Spirit, I trust your timing, a friend unexpectedly offered him a ticket abroad. That journey led him to partnerships that changed his destiny. He told me later, if I had traveled earlier, I would have gone to the wrong place with the wrong company at the wrong time. Spirit was not withholding, it was preparing. Even in danger, timing reveals itself. One woman hurried one morning and missed her bus. She wept, thinking herself late. Yet that very bus collided on its route. Missing, it was not delay. It was deliverance. Spirit's clock is not your clock, yet it is always more accurate. Perhaps, dear one, you think yourself late in health. Your healing has tarried, your body is weary. Remember this, even illness may be the pause that leads to wisdom. I knew a man who, confined to bed, discovered writings and teachings he never would have sought otherwise. These shaped him, healed not only his body but his soul. Later he said, had I not been delayed in sickness, I never would have been advanced in spirit. Do you see, beloved? Every story whispers the same truth. Nothing is ever late. Spirit's calendar is not measured by human clocks, but by readiness. When the soil is ready, the seed breaks forth. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. When the soul is ready, the blessing arrives. So if you wait, do not curse the waiting. Do not declare yourself forgotten. Say instead, divine order governs my life. My good cannot be withheld. What is mine comes to me, swiftly and surely, under grace and in perfect ways. Speak it, believe it, live it. And one day, like those I have told you, you will look back and see the hand of perfect timing guiding every step. And when your testimony comes, share it, for your story will become another's prophecy. The law works not sometimes, not for some, but always and for all. Nothing is ever late in divine order. Beloved soul, now that you have seen the law of perfect timing, do not merely admire it, live it. For the law is not a philosophy to be pondered once and forgotten. It is a rhythm to be walked in every day, as surely as you walk to the beat of your own heart. The universe is a great symphony, and divine order is its conductor. To live in harmony with this law is to stop fighting the rhythm, to stop rushing ahead or lagging behind, and to step into the exact note, the exact beat, where your blessing is written. Let me tell you plainly, every morning you awake, you stand at the threshold of perfect timing. But most people miss it because their minds are racing with clocks and calendars, with fears of being too late or anxieties of being too early. They grasp, they chase, they push, and by doing so, they step out of rhythm. Beloved, you cannot wrestle your blessing into your hands, for it is not won by force. You receive it when you align with the rhythm of spirit. How then do you live in this rhythm? You begin by surrendering each day to divine order. The moment you rise, instead of rushing into worry, pause and speak, "Today I walk in perfect timing. Nothing is too soon, nothing is too late, everything unfolds under grace." These words are not idle, they are keys. Each declaration opens a gate of alignment. Then, walk through your day with listening ears. The voice of timing is gentle. Sometimes it says, "Wait." Sometimes it says, "Move now." Those who hear prosper. Those who ignore find frustration. I once told a student, Spirit's whispers are the difference between toil and ease, between wasted effort and divine success. Learn to trust that still small voice. Let me give you a practice. When you are uncertain, when fear of missing out grips you, take a breath and ask inwardly, "Is this my moment?" If peace follows, proceed. If unease lingers, wait, for unease is often Spirit's caution. Peace is Spirit's green light. And you will find, over time, that this practice saves you from countless wrong turns, wasted energy, and regret. Another practice is thanksgiving. Give thanks not only for what you see, but for what is yet unseen. Say, "I give thanks that everything I desire is already mine in spirit and appears at the right time." Thanksgiving is the invisible receipt of what is to come. It proves to the universe that you trust its delivery. You may ask, "But Florence, how do I endure the waiting?" Beloved, you do not endure it as a prisoner counts days. You live it as a gardener tends soil. The gardener does not dig up the seed daily to check if it grows. He waters, he trusts, he sings over his field, and in its time the bud breaks forth. So too must you water your dreams with faith, sing over them with affirmations, and trust that the soil of divine order is never barren. When impatience tempts you, remember this truth: what is rushed often withers, what is ripened in time endures. Consider the fruit plucked too early, it is bitter. Consider the fruit left to mature, it is sweet, so it is with every blessing. Spirit ripens your good, and when the day comes, it tastes of heaven. There is also the discipline of release. Release your rigid timelines, your desperate calculations, your human clocks. Say, "I release the need to control. I trust divine order." The more you grip, the more you delay. The more you surrender, the more swiftly Spirit moves. For the law of timing is not about speed, it is about alignment. And alignment often hastens what striving delays. Beloved, do not compare your clock with another's. Do not look at another's marriage, career, or healing and say, I am behind. For each soul has its unique appointment. What is theirs is not yours. What is yours cannot be taken, cannot be missed, cannot be lost. Say this daily: my blessing cannot be stolen, my time cannot be delayed, my season is sure. With such words you break envy, you end fear, and you rest in certainty. Now hear me, even apparent delays are blessings. For in the waiting, Spirit trains you. A bird is not pushed from the nest before its wings are strong. If you leapt into your blessing too soon, it would crush you. Spirit waits until your wings are ready. So instead of despairing in delay, say, I am being strengthened for my season. I am being prepared for my appointment. I give you now affirmations to anchor this law in your daily life. I walk in divine order, and divine order walks in me. Every step I take is timed by Spirit. I am never late. I am never early. My blessing appears at the right time, in the right way, under grace. What is mine comes to me with speed and certainty, and nothing can prevent it. I trust the rhythm of the universe. I release all fear of missing out. I give thanks that perfect timing governs my health, my wealth, my relationships, my destiny. Speak these often. Speak them when fear rises. Speak them when delay seems long. Speak them when opportunity knocks. They will align you with the current of Spirit. And now, beloved, I leave you with this prophetic charge. Stop declaring yourself late. Stop cursing your season. Begin to live as though you are on time. Walk into every room as though you arrived precisely when you were meant to. Accept every encounter as divinely scheduled. Look at every seeming delay and say, even this is timing. For when you do, you will see miracles unfold. Remember, the law is not sometimes true. It is always true. Nothing in your life is wasted. Every moment is ordered. Every delay is protection. Every advance is preparation. Every opening is orchestration. When you see with Spirit's eyes, you will declare with me, nothing is ever late in divine order. So rise tomorrow with peace, walk today with trust, and close each night with thanksgiving, for your good is not rushing away from you, it is rushing toward you. At the exact moment, it will appear shining, undeniable, perfect. And when it does, may you lift your hands and say, surely the law is true. Divine order never failed me. Nothing was ever late. Everything was on time. Go now, beloved, and live not as one racing against the clock, but as one dancing with eternity. For you are already in rhythm. You are already in flow. You are already in perfect time. And so it is.